Hi everybody, we are going to make a collage box today. These are kind of fun. They're functional art, which is something that I really enjoy because it's fun to make. You have a piece of artwork, it takes skill, it's unique, but you can also use it for things. Since we're all in this quarantine, this is a great way to let somebody know that you're thinking about them. If you're in a wedding party, that's a great gift idea. Your elderly relatives who are homebound at this time, you could make it for your friends. If you're away from school and you're thinking about your friends, collage is a really great thing to make for other people because you can choose pictures and words and phrases and things that you think that they'll like, and then at the end they'll have this really cool box that they can keep treasures in. All right, let's get down to it. I'm going to tell you what you're going to need and how we're going to make it. So the first thing you need is a box. If you have any on hand, they are just a craft paper box. If you don't have something like this, if you have a jewelry box or any kind of small container, another option is Apple products make really nice boxes. The only caution is if you're going to use a box from an Apple product is that their lids fit so snugly that I would not collage anything around the inside edges. Although you could do the inside of the lid and the inside of the bottom of the box. I'm not going to take this one apart, but I just wanted to show you that. If you don't have a box but you still want to make a collage, I would suggest any kind of piece of cardboard from packaging. You could even cut up a cereal box and use the side of the cereal box. Any type of substrate that is going to have a little bit of weight to it, because we're going to be pasting pictures and pieces of paper onto our collage with diluted Elmer's glue. Those are the things that we're going to collage on. Now, what do we need to make our collage? We need paper. Any kind of magazine you have laying around, restaurant menus, our old books, atlas that I bought at a thrift store. So if you have an old map laying around, that's a good thing to use. Sort of remade version of the Sears catalog. Cool old-timey dudes. Musical instruments, how about a banjo? The tools that you are going to need: scissors. If you are going to use a utility knife or an X-Acto knife, make sure you have a self-healing mat on your desktop or a piece of cardboard that you can use to cut on top of so you're not damaging your table. I chose to use Elmer's glue for this project just because it's one of those things that most people have around their home, especially if you've got kids. Glue sticks. You can also use some little sticky tape. And last but not least, in an emergency, there's always good old Scotch tape. Also, if you have art supplies laying around your house, you can use, this is a gel medium, but this also works really well for making collages. It's just a little bit more spendy. So if you don't want to use your expensive art supplies for this, good old Elmer's glue will do the trick. We need a brush. You're going to need a little dish to mix your glue and water in. You're only going to use just a little bit of water. You just want enough to thin it out. If you use the glue straight, it's a little bit too sticky. And if you add too much water, all of your paper is just going to get messed up. You will need water to rinse out your brush. If you have to take a break or something, or if you need to let stuff dry, you want to rinse your brush out, and some paper towels to dry your brush off. Let's get started. Find a variety of shapes, textures, colors, and negative and positive space. So this is a good example of negative space. I cut out this arch, this architectural piece. And so that gives me this right here, this negative space to play around with. And I can use it to put something behind it that has absolutely nothing to do with that arch. Okay. Now, some collage artists use a very minimal approach. I tend to be a maximalist when it comes to most of my work, but collage also. I usually cover the entire surface with pictures. I have a great admiration for people who can use a lot of negative space in their work. That may be something that I might try to work on one of these days, but I just like throwing everything in the mix and just seeing what I can come up with. So with that said, let's get to work.
Think about it right now. Everything's okay. No matter where you find yourself, no matter what kind of stuff is going on in your life, underneath it all, everything's actually all right. You're okay. You have more power than you might be giving yourself credit for. And if you have something that's going on in your life right now that's challenging, painful, it's just a reminder to take a little bit better care of yourself. You're worth it. You can have this feeling anytime you choose.
So I wanted to do a quick review of the collage boxes that I made. This was the first one that I made many years ago, and it's lasted quite a long time. This is the one that I made from the iPhone box. I used a Chinese dictionary and then some pictures from magazines. I included an eye, and this little clipping right here is from a wilderness area on a map. And when you open it up, it's fun to put things in the bottom of the box that look like it could be an object in there, playing with your imagination. And then the inside lid. This is the next one that I made. And I covered the bottom with a map page from an atlas. And I cut it so that the same piece of paper wraps around all of the edges and goes down to the corners of the inside. And the inside of the lid is the shoe that I had cut out. And these pages are from a poetry book that I got at a thrift store, and someone had made notes all through the book, so I thought that was interesting to keep those notes in there. And then if you've got younger kids who just are not going to have the patience or dexterity to cover an entire box with paper, it's easiest to just cut out simple shapes. Pizza's pretty easy, squares are pretty easy. On the bottom of this one, I just did a square section from a map, just a strip from a photo in a magazine. And instead of, detail cutting all around this object, I just cut a square around it like a younger child would. And you can just arrange those any way you want. And then on the inside, I didn't worry about covering the inside edges. I just cut a square that was the right size to fit on the inside bottom. And then a couple of objects that look like they could be sitting in the bottom of the box. Just kind of fun. And then kids like playing with size and proportions, so I found this snake, and then it kind of looks like it's hovering over the city to see if it wants to eat it. So kind of fun. Something to keep in mind if you've got younger kids that aren't going to go to all this detail work, but you still want to have a project to do with them. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you try it at home, make sure you tag me at Hide Horch in your photos on Instagram or Facebook, and I would love to see what you make. If you have any questions, please comment below. And if you've stuck with me this long through this whole video, I am so appreciative. Thank you so much, and that's for you. All right, thanks you guys. Have a great one. Comment any suggestions, comments, questions, and please follow me at Hide Horch. Thanks. Bye-bye.